Powerful men live by a rule that most people never even realize exists. They do not rush to correct misunderstandings. They do not scramble to clean up accusations. They do not burn energy trying to be seen accurately by people who have no authority over their lives. While the average man treats every challenge as a courtroom where he must prove his innocence, powerful men understand something far more dangerous. The courtroom itself is an illusion, and the moment you step into it, you have already lost. Most men defend themselves because they believe truth is self-evident if explained clearly enough. They believe that if they just say the right words, show the right evidence, or clarify their intentions, respect will be restored. This belief is comforting, but it is false. In reality, power does not flow from truth. It flows from perception. And perception is shaped not by explanations, but by composure, timing, and control. Machiavellian psychology begins with a brutal premise. Human beings do not evaluate others fairly. They evaluate them hierarchically. Every interaction is subconsciously scanned for dominance signals. Who is reactive? Who is calm? Who is trying to convince? Who is unmoved? When you defend yourself, you are not communicating innocence. You are communicating that the other person has the right to put you on trial. You accept their frame, and by accepting it, you lower your position within it. This is why powerful men never rush to explain. Explanation is not neutral, it is a transaction. You are trading authority for relief. You are saying, please understand me so I can feel safe again. And safety-seeking behavior is always read as weakness in social environments, no matter how polite or reasonable it sounds. From a Machiavellian perspective, defending yourself is dangerous because it reveals dependency. It signals that your internal sense of legitimacy is unstable, that your confidence requires external confirmation. Once people sense this, they unconsciously learn how to control you. They learn that accusations make you talk, that pressure makes you justify, that discomfort makes you chase approval. And once that pattern is established, it will be exploited again and again. Powerful men do the opposite. They let accusations hang in the air. They let misunderstandings breathe. They allow others to sit with their own assumptions, not because they are arrogant, but because they are sovereign. They do not outsource their self-definition. They do not panic when misjudged. They understand that panic itself is the signal predators look for. There is also a deeper psychological reason why non-defense works. Most accusations are not designed to uncover truth. They are designed to provoke reaction. When someone challenges you publicly, questions your motives, or casts doubt on your character, they are often testing whether you can be destabilized. They want to see if you will flinch. If you do, they gain leverage. If you don't, the attack collapses under its own weight. Silence, when used correctly, is not passivity. It is pressure. It forces the accuser to confront their own aggression without the distraction of your emotional response. It exposes their intent, and in many cases, it makes them uncomfortable enough to retreat or over-explain themselves. The moment they begin explaining, the hierarchy flips. Powerful men also understand that defending yourself gives your enemy information. When you explain, you reveal your values, your insecurities, and your thresholds. You teach people exactly where to aim next time. Non-defense starves them of that data. It makes you unreadable, and unreadable individuals are difficult to manipulate. This does not mean powerful men never speak. It means they never speak reactively. When they respond, it is deliberate, minimal, and framed on their terms. They address facts without accepting judgment. They acknowledge events without adopting labels. They separate actions from identity. This distinction is critical. In Machiavellian psychology, you never allow someone else to define who you are. You only decide what you will correct and when. Another reason powerful men avoid defending themselves is because they understand the asymmetry of effort. Defense is exhausting. It drains attention, energy, and emotional bandwidth. Meanwhile, the accuser risks nothing. They can throw a sentence and walk away, while you burn hours replaying the exchange in your mind. Over time, this imbalance weakens you. Power requires conservation. A man who is constantly defending is constantly leaking. There is also a reputational dimension. The more you explain yourself, the more you associate your name with the accusation. Even if you are innocent, repetition embeds the narrative. Powerful men know that silence often kills a story faster than rebuttal. When there is no reaction, no escalation, no visible wound, gossip dies of starvation. At the core of this behavior is self-knowledge. Powerful men do not need to defend themselves because they are not confused about who they are. They have already confronted their flaws privately. They are not shocked by criticism because they have integrated their shadow. When someone calls them selfish, incompetent, or cold, it does not trigger panic because those words do not threaten their internal structure. And what does not threaten you cannot control you. Machiavellian psychology is not about cruelty, it is about realism. It recognizes that the world does not reward transparency the way people are taught it does. It rewards restraint. It rewards ambiguity. It rewards those who can withstand misunderstanding without collapsing into self-justification. This is why powerful men often appear calm in situations that would emotionally unravel others. They are not suppressing emotion. They have simply trained themselves not to hand their emotional steering wheel to strangers. They understand that dignity is not proven through argument. It is demonstrated through posture, pace, and selective engagement. When you stop defending yourself, something unsettling happens to people around you. They lose their usual leverage. They cannot provoke you into revealing your inner state. They cannot easily categorize you. This shifts the balance of power. People begin to approach you more carefully. They project authority onto you because authority is often assumed where reaction is absent. But there is a cost. Non-defense requires internal strength. It requires you to tolerate discomfort, to sit with misinterpretation, to resist the urge to be liked. Many men fail here because they are addicted to reassurance. They would rather explain themselves into weakness than endure the temporary tension of silence. The Machiavellian path demands the opposite. It demands that you accept being misunderstood by those who do not matter. It demands that you reserve explanation only for those who have earned proximity, trust, and influence in your life. Everyone else receives neutrality. In time, this changes how you move through the world. You speak less, but when you do, people listen. You react slower, but with more impact. You stop chasing clarity and start commanding presence, and presence is the currency of power. Powerful men never defend themselves because they understand that defense is a lower status behavior disguised as virtue. They understand that dignity is not something you argue into existence. It is something you embody until others adjust their behavior around it. If this way of thinking unsettles you, that is a sign. It means you have been conditioned to believe that your worth must be constantly negotiated. Machiavellian psychology rejects that premise entirely. It teaches that power begins the moment you stop trying to convince and start choosing when silence speaks for you. And once you learn to hold that silence without fear, you stop being reactive. You stop being predictable. You stop being easy to test. That is when people stop trying to put you on trial, not because you proved anything, but because they sense you no longer need to.
If this perspective challenged the way you think about power, social pressure, and self-respect, take a moment to engage. Like this video if it gave you clarity. Share it with someone who still struggles with external validation. Comment with your thoughts or experiences, and subscribe to the channel if you want more content on psychology, power dynamics, and self-mastery.